welcome to Munich International School Virtual Open Day. My name is Leigh Kim and I'm part of the admissions team here at MIS. And we are very pleased to welcome so many families from around the world. We hope that this event will provide not only an excellent opportunity to learn more about our school, but also about the opportunities we have to offer your child. So, what do we have planned for you today? I am thrilled that you'll be welcomed and introduced to MIS by our Deputy Head of School, Ms. Leigh Miller. And you will also have the opportunity to meet our junior school principal, Mr. Nathaniel Atherton, as well as our middle school principal, Nathalie Millette, and Ms. Marie Favret, our senior school principal, who all three of them will be joined by some of our MIS students. Right now, I am very pleased to introduce to you Ms. Leigh Miller, our Deputy Head of School.
Thank you, Leigh Kim. Good morning, everyone. My name is Leigh Miller, and I am the Deputy Head of School here at MIS. I would like to share with you a little about our mission. As you see here, our vision is to inspire and realize bold dreams. And our mission is to inspire, to challenge, and to empower students to become all of these things. We want them to be bold dreamers who shape their own future and turn their aspirations into reality. This means we want students to reach high. We want them to have confidence to pursue their interests and their passions, to imagine great stories for their lives, but to also know that they have the competence and the support to achieve these ambitions. We know along their journey they'll face challenges, and so we want them to be resilient and adaptable. When these challenges occur, we want them to persevere. We know that challenge builds resilience, and so that's why we don't shy away from things that are hard at MIS. We expect our students to be culturally respectful contributors who make a positive impact. We are an international school community, and that means that we respect and learn about one another's cultures. And we know that we have the responsibility to use our knowledge about the world to make it a better place for everyone that's involved, everyone that's in our world. And finally, we want students to be engaged community members who foster belonging and take pride in their school. And you're going to meet a few of these students today who are engaged community members and want to tell you more about their day-to-day life at MIS. We want them to be involved in all of the opportunities that we provide, and we want them to proudly represent MIS. And so I look forward to welcoming our very first students, the junior school students, with the Principal Nathaniel Atherton, to tell you a little bit more about their day-to-day life at MIS.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Really appreciate it. Hello, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Atherton. I'm the junior school principal, and I'm so excited to be here with you today to get a chance to talk to you about MIS and what is really wonderful about this school. And I have with me some friends who are here who are actually going to really give you the inside scoop on what really takes place in the junior school. So we're going to go through a little bit of an interview here with our students, and we'll find out a little bit what their experience is like at MIS. So to start, I want to ask them, for the audience, can you tell them what your name is, how old you are, and what class you're in?
Hi, I'm Horia. I'm 10 years old and I am in 4D.
Hi, I'm Josie. I'm 10 years old and I'm also in 4D.
And can you tell everyone how long you have been at MIS?
This is my first year at MIS.
This is my second year at MIS.
And maybe just as we get started, you could tell everyone, what do you like most about coming to school each day? Is there something that resonates with you when you come to campus, Horia?
Come to MIS, you walk through a rainbow tunnel that connects the parking lot to the main campus. It makes me feel connected and bright. The rainbow tunnel is so bright, even on rainy days. It brings my energy up, so I'm ready for school.
Oh, great. That is a really nice way to enter school, as it's quite magical when we walk through the rainbow tunnel. Josie, what about you?
Seeing all my friends and my teacher, I can see all of them are excited to see me too. They smile and give me hugs and tell me what they've done since we last saw each other.
Great. So it sounds like a nice start to the day for both of you. Can you tell us a bit maybe about a project or activity that you've done recently that you've really enjoyed?
We just had a unit that combines science and making. At our school, we have Makerspace has a system which allows us to build either independently or with teacher support. In our unit, we were learning about forces like pushes, pulls, and friction. And we made a small toy using cardboard and glue that showed these forces in action.
Oh, cool. Did you get to bring do people test the toys?
Yeah, we could test the toys ourselves. And one person from your group could even take the toy home.
Oh, cool. That's great. What does a normal school day look like, Corey? If you imagine a normal school day for you, what does that kind of look like?
First, we will start with a morning meeting. This builds relationships in our classroom. Then we might have subjects like math, language, and ULI. These are in the homeroom. We might have specialists like music, art, PE, and German. We also have lunch and break time. The day ends with a closing circle. I'm also in lots of clubs such as Glee Club, Taekwondo, tennis, Eco Committee, Tanzania Club, and Tech Team.
Just a few clubs.
No.
A lot of clubs, I think, right? Lots of opportunity to do different activities outside the classroom. So what's something that you do here at MIS that helps you learn? Josie?
In the junior school, we set goals. We set goals about our schoolwork and about us as people. Our teacher provides us with a list of goals which we might work on. We can choose ones that we think we want to work on or what is best for us. We make these goals visible either in our locker or in our workbook.
What's an example of a goal that you've been working on?
So I've been working on a goal. Well, we all work on goals right now about caring. And my goal was about to include anyone who's feeling left out.
Okay. And how is it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah? How do you know if you're doing a good job with your goal?
You take the goal sheet out of your locker or workbook, and we write what we've done good or what we could do better next time.
Okay. So are you collecting evidence or something? Is that?
Kind of.
Yeah. You write down the examples.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So my next question is about school culture and about what it's like to come to MIS. So how do people treat each other at MIS, Horia?
The class sets up a new students with a buddy who can help them feel welcomed.
Great. So when someone arrives, you get a buddy. Did you get a buddy when you first came to MIS?
We could pick.
Oh, okay.
I decided not to, but I kind of flowed along with some kids. So
Okay. What about you, Josie?
My teacher did pair me with a person who I'm actually really good friends with now.
Oh, great. So they were your buddy at first, but you guys ended up having a lot in common.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Are there any, you talked already about some clubs, but are there any clubs or trips or special events that you really enjoy? Josie?
I am part of Glee Club.
Mm-hmm.
And Glee Club is in junior school where the students perform a musical. This year we are performing Finding Nemo. I'm a character named Bubbles.
Okay. And what about you, Horia?
I'm also in Glee Club. I'm playing Children's Father. I'm also excited about PYP exhibition. PYP is a big project that students do in grade 4. Students pick something they want to learn more about and present it to a community.
Do you know what you want to do your exhibition about or not yet?
I have a small idea.
Okay, what's that?
It's about brains.
About-
I'm still thinking of a specific
Okay. The big idea is, say it again?
brains.
About brains. Okay, so something about
Yeah.
brains. Brain science or finding out how brains work.
I don't know.
So you need to kind of
Yeah.
figure it out, but you're interested in
Yeah.
brains. Ooh, cool. Okay, so my last question is, so I think previous to this, where were you before this
In America.
and before
New Zealand.
New Zealand? And if you were trying to convince a friend from New Zealand or from America to come to MIS, what will be the top 3 selling points? Josie?
I'd say the amazing gym space,
Okay.
the fun playground,
Mm-hmm.
and the great teachers are really nice.
Okay, so we have really nice teachers. That's great. And what about you, Jorge? If you were to try to convince someone to come, 3 main ideas, what would you go with?
The creative makerspace.
Okay.
Indoor and outdoor.
Oh, so there's an indoor makerspace and an outdoor makerspace.
The outdoor makerspace is with sticks, and you can build stuff with sticks, like small houses or like some tools or
And you
something.
can do that during playtime?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes Mr. Molina, who is a boss basically
The
of
makerspace
the
teacher.
makerspace teacher, takes us out there for us to play or do something for an activity. Usually it's in the indoor makerspace. The indoor makerspace is where you can build stuff that's also at recess time, or if it's a lesson.
Right, like Josie's example
Yeah.
before.
And also the huge campus.
That's another thing you like?
And the warm community.
And the warm community. Great. So, well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and perspectives on the junior school. And I'm going to pass over now to my colleague, Miss Nathalie Millette, who's going to introduce you to some middle school friends. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Nathaniel. My name is Nathalie Millette. I'm the middle school principal. This is my 4th year at MIS, and I'm joined by 2 middle school students. So we're going to start off with probably the easiest question with you. What is your name? What grade are you in? And how long have you been at MIS?
My name is Philippe. I'm in 7th grade, and I have been in MIS since 4th grade.
Perfect. Thank you, Philippe. And over here, same question.
My name is Ferdinand. I'm also in 7th grade, and I joined MIS in EC56.
Okay, so you have been at MIS for your whole time almost in school. Yes? Perfect. Great. So, Philippe, we'll start with you. My first question is, what makes MIS special for you?
MIS has a creative learning environment that nurtures ideas and questions, which helps students to think beyond what their teacher tells them and get into a place where you can go to maybe a university or college, and it just helps them to think for themselves and not just learning through research, but also through doing and activities.
Okay, interesting. So the learning is different because we want to know what you think more than you remembering what I think. Does that make sense? Yeah. Perfect. Great. What about for you? What's something, Ferdy, that you think is really special about MIS?
Like the learning tools that we get, like getting iPads. It's like you can research things easier, and you have more like access to better resource sources. And I also think that like we have so many things that we can do, like the after school activities and everything, like to like learn new things and make more friends.
Nice. So just on the iPads, so middle school students get iPads starting in grade 5 through grade 8. And what are some of the ways that you use your iPad in class to help you learn?
So mostly our teachers have toddler assignments, which we have now new. So like in INS, Miss K gives us like resource tools that we like can research about our unit right now, and then like we can finish the activities there. Yeah, and it's just really fun doing things on our iPads, like to not like always write everything with our hands and everything.
Okay, yeah. And I guess one of the big differences is rather than having one book that you read with all the information, with your INS teacher, which is a humanities class, your teacher will give you multiple different resources, texts and videos that you can learn from.
Yeah, sometimes we get like we can choose from different skill levels, like mild or spicy things, so that we can like choose our learning. So like so that's like for everybody has something.
Okay. So what is the difference? So this you're talking about your INS teacher, Miss K. She will label some things mild and some things spicy. What's the difference between a mild learning tool and a spicy learning tool?
So a mild learning, it like in general they both have the same information for you.
Yeah.
But the mild learning, like it doesn't have the highest vocabulary.
Okay.
And it's like and it's easier to understand it.
Okay.
And like it's probably not that much information. So like because like it's probably only giving you the key points. But by the spicy one, it's like goes into the depth and everything. It has a pretty high vocabulary.
Right.
So like it's harder for like some people to understand if you're like from coming from a German school or something and your vocabulary isn't that high. So
so you can choose if you want to use the slightly easier one or the harder one.
Yes. Okay.
And in your class, do you have a mixture of students with different language abilities?
Yes. For example, last year I had 2 new students who are also my friends now.
Yeah.
And they came from German school, so they were also in EIL, and like they found it pretty hard, like keeping up in all those lessons. Like for example, in INS we're learning about volcanoes and everything, and there's like so many new vocabulary words that would probably be extremely hard for them to know what this means or something. So I think will be also more easier to do the mild one for them.
For sure. And then have you noticed, so these are your 2 friends you were talking about.
Yes.
Has their English improved this year?
Huge. They have a huge improvement. So like now they also are with the normal English class, and they don't have EIL now because they're like developed so much throughout the year.
So they don't need that extra.
Yeah.
Super. Felipe, back to you. When you're in a class, how do you and your teachers know that you're learning? What evidence do we have that you're learning?
So first of all, my teacher sees how much work I've done, how far I've gotten, if I need an extension or if I'm lagging a bit behind. So she sees me and watches me doing my learning. And if my learning isn't progressing as she would want it, she might give me some either easier work or some work that is better for the skill level that I am to get me to get through that and then go to a higher level, which gets me step by step to a new, better level.
What happens when you and your teacher find that maybe the work is too easy for you?
Then my teacher might give me a harder problem or a special problem or an extension or just the same problem, but she might want me to do a higher level answer.
Okay. So will your teacher ask you to go back and improve your answer in order to challenge you a little bit more?
Yeah, she might tell me to do a little bit more research from different sources. And yeah, so improving my old answer to get to a higher level.
Perfect. Okay. We're coming to the end of our time. This is the same question for both of you. Actually, I have 2 questions for both of you that you can answer at the same time. Number 1, for a new student coming to middle school, what is a piece of advice you would have for them in order to be successful at MIS? And then number 2, what is your number 1 favorite thing about MIS? So advice, favorite thing. Do you want to start?
I can start.
Okay.
So if there would be a new student, like if I want to like get a new student to the school, I would probably tell them the freedom that we have here with all these break spaces and everything, and how much like variety of things we can do.
Okay.
And the learning is like completely different compared to other school. Like I already said, like that we have like the maker space and everything, and like that we have like fun games to play. Like we play Kahoot to like memorize the thing, but it's in a fun way. And what I like most about MIS is the after school activities.
What's your activity?
So I played the football last year, and I think like usually it was my first year in the after school activities, and like everybody respected me and they really invited me in the team. And I think it was like the funniest thing I've done in MIS. It really made me a better person, and like I gathered so many memories, and it was just a great time.
That's so nice. Thank you. Philippe, what about you? What's one piece of advice you have for a new student coming to middle school, and what is your favorite thing about MIS?
A tip for a new student would probably be to use the options that they give you here to expand your learning and progress compared to your old, maybe school or classes, to use the opportunities that you have to be better.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing about the school?
Probably all the opportunities and the freedom, just like Freddie said. The different classes and all the different options. For example, Chinese, an option, even if it doesn't exist this year, or French or Spanish or journalism or food design.
So all of the different optional courses that you get to take. Great. Thank you to both of you for giving us such a great insight into what makes our middle school amazing. And on that note, I will pass it over to our senior school principal, Miss Favret, and her students.
Thank you so much, Miss Millette. I'm really excited to welcome you. I'm actually new to the senior school as well, and it wasn't that long ago that I was watching these open houses as a parent of a child in junior school, middle school, and senior school, probably with many of the same questions that you have. So I'm here with two of our seniors who are going to share a little bit about their MIS pathway and what they're doing next. So could you both just introduce yourselves and tell us about what you're studying, maybe how long you've been here as well?
So my name is Luke Maidenbauer. This is my third year at MIS. I came in the summer before 10th grade, and I am currently in the IB diploma program.
My name is Lucy Feldhughes, and I've been here since 7th grade, so this is my 5th year, and I'm currently in the MIS diploma program.
Great. Yeah. And what are your plans after you graduate?
So for me, my plan is to go to university in the States, and then I hope to study engineering there, and then afterwards we'll see how the universe takes me down that path as well. Yeah.
And how about for you, Lucy?
For me, I will be also going to university, but in the Netherlands, and I will be pursuing marketing and business. Yeah.
Great. So Dr. Miller shared at the beginning of today's call that one of the things that we do here at MIS is prepare students for their future aspirations. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how the pathway that you've designed and the courses that you're taking and any other opportunities you've had at MIS have prepared you for what you want to do next. Start with you, Luke.
Yeah, so I think what's really special about the IB program is the amount of writing that they have you do, the amounts of critical analysis that they have you do. And I think it really sharpens your ability to, look at specific problems, whether it be like a science problem, a humanities problem, or any other problem that you have in your life. And you can really break it down and come up with a very, I would say, innovative or creative solution towards it. And the program and the curriculum in the IB really does a great job at, teaching you how to do that, in your various subjects, from languages to math or anything like that. And then also the other non-academic opportunities that they have at MIS, like the different sports and the different clubs that you do and the trips that you go on for any of those things. Like for sports, we go to the International School Sports Tournament, and we go to one of our 8, partner schools who also compete in it. And that ranges from, like London, Paris, The Hague, Brussels, or here. And it's a really cool opportunity to meet other people from other international schools. And you meet some really like great friends, both in your own school, but also in those other international schools. And then also like things like Model United Nations. We went to Prague last year, and that was also such a cool experience, meeting with a bunch of other students who had come down, a lot of them from a lot of like other DODEA American schools or international schools, and that was really cool. And so all of those things, when it comes to, you know, being able to meet new people, make new friends, and be able to interact with them and work together, that's something that's really special about the school that, you know, isn't really offered anywhere else.
Great. And you've had some opportunities for leadership as well.
Yes. So I am the student council president, one of the student council presidents, and it offers a platform for not only me, but also other students who are representing their own either grade levels or anything like that, either as, you know, president, as a secretary, as a treasurer, as a grade representative for their respective grades. And it allows for a platform for the students to choose who they want to represent themselves when, you know, meeting with different administration in the senior school, or for solving other problems that they're experiencing. And yeah, I think it really is special in the way that it gives students an opportunity to, you know, express their interests and achieve the goals that they have.
Great. Thank you, Luke. So Lucy, one of my favorite conversations when I arrived here at MIS was a conversation that you and I had in the cafeteria when you were telling me a little bit more about what you want to do next and how excited you were about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you've been able to do here at MIS to prepare you for your plans after graduation?
I think one big thing for me was the work experience that we had in 10th grade. I was able to go back to my hometown, Seattle, and I was able to have an internship at a marketing and PR corporation or institution. And that really sparked my interest, not just in the business world, but also with that marketing, having that creative side. And I think that's exactly what got me so excited for the future. But that also really showed me what I want to pursue also in 11th and 12th grade when it came to my courses. So, yeah.
That's great. And how did you both decide what you wanted to do next? Were you able to work with our counselors? What did that process look like?
A lot of help came from the counselors. And I think it came down to kind of what I wanted to do after MIS. And so I think with the with my conversation with the counselors and understanding what the IB program was all about, I was drawn towards it, and knowing that it would help me in preparing myself for my future endeavors. And yeah, I mean, the counselors are a really great resource and really great program. They really help you a lot when it comes to either dealing with, balance and everything that you have with school and extracurriculars, anything like that, but also in the whole application process when it comes to either university or planning out and setting up your gap year. And also for future applications, maybe like after a gap year or something like that, they still are there to help you out with that. And that's something that was super helpful for me.
That's great. How about for you, Lucy?
For me, it wasn't just the counselors, it was also the support that I had from my individual teachers, especially specific ones like academic support, for example. We have a really great program here at MIS where they support kids with learning differences and those things and such. And that was really beneficial to me to have those conversations, not just about my future, but also the present moment, not just socially, but also academically wise. And that's also what pursued me to choose to do the MIS diploma rather than the IB. Yeah.
And the teachers here are super, super, super nice and kind and understanding. They are really there to help you and make sure that you succeed. And they are very flexible in adjusting, specific things to help better your learning experience. So if you are, if something's going on with you outside of school and it's not leading you to be able to focus or achieve a certain deadline, then they're more than willing to be able to either, give you an extension or really help you achieve those goals in a manner that's fitting towards your specific situation. And they're also super fun to talk to in class, which is great, and it makes the school day very fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You don't just have a connection with your teachers academically, but you also have a connection with them socially. And that's a very big part of senior school. Yeah.
So it can seem a little bit intimidating joining a new school in senior school. What advice would you give to someone who is joining MIS in senior school?
So for joining in the middle of or in 10th grade, it's definitely difficult because everyone has already like moved in and adjusted to senior school together in 9th grade. And you kind of find yourself, or you can find yourself, integrating into it on your own journey and by yourself. But at the end of the day, I think what really helped me was being very open to, talking to a bunch of different people, just being kind to people in class, and also joining a bunch of activities. Because then when you're joining those activities or you're being nice to each other in class or whatever, you start to get united over like common interest. And I think that really helps. That really helps with your integration to the school. You meet a lot of people, and if you treat people with respect, then people will treat you with respect back, and you'll be able to integrate and do fine just like that.
How about you, Lucy?
I would say similar to Luke. I think that, personally, I didn't join in senior school. I did join in middle school, but I think every year your friends and your teachers change, and I think that's something that is probably normal in almost every high school. But I do think that being able to socialize and speaking not just with your teachers, but also other students, it's a very big part of our school. And yeah, no matter what, I think it's a very inclusive environment.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question. You both have experienced other schools. What's something that's unique or that you love about MIS?
One thing that definitely stands out to me are like the things that I said, the activity opportunities and the places you can go with them, the teachers. But I think overall, I think the combination of these students here and how then they are very open to stuff, and you're able to integrate with them a lot more. And also living in Bavaria, in the location of the school in Starnberg, it really sets you up to be able to enjoy your time. If you're on early release Fridays or something like that, there's plenty of opportunities like the lake and stuff like that. But and I think, and also various traditions in Bavaria, or going down to Garmisch to ski or anything like that. I think that whole combination of things, and doing those with your friends, it makes the school such a special place, and it really helps out and brings a positive vibe to the learning and academic environment for sure.
Yeah. For me, it wouldn't just be my friends and my social life. I think the reason why MIS is so special to me is my relationship with my teachers, especially the ones that have really been there for me throughout the years and have really seen me grow. I think it becomes a really special place, and it's something that's hard to leave. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both very much. And I'll hand it to Leigh Kim.
Thank you. It's always so great to hear from our MIS student what it is like to be a student here at our school. So we come almost to the end of our open day, and I kindly invite families to post a question if it hasn't been answered in our Q&A chat. We'll try to answer all of them, and maybe there are some questions that we're not able to answer, but then we'll definitely get back to you. Some of the questions that we already have received by email from some of you is mainly about transitioning from either EC to grade 1, or for example middle school into grade 8, or from into grade 11. So maybe if we focus first on transitioning from EC in grade 1 into the junior school. So maybe my question to you, Nathaniel, is how do we support students? And maybe you can explain as well a little bit about a level of English coming from different curriculums.
Yeah, absolutely. So MIS does have early childhood centers. So we have what we would call EC 4-5 and EC 5-6. So we have students on site that are in a kindergarten program, and who will transition to grade 1. And we also have lots of students that will join in grade 1 from other programs not directly affiliated with MIS. And so both of them have somewhat different transition plans. So for the students that are in EC 5-6, we actually start that transition the year before they're going to move, and they'll have some opportunities to engage with grade 1. They'll go up and visit grade 1 classes, get to hear from grade 1 teachers about what the learning looks like in grade 1, get to speak to some grade 1 students to hear about their experience. And that eases some nerves around that transition. But come August, we do something that is very familiar across Germany, which is grade 1 is a big start of school, of official school. And so we have a big celebration where students receive their Schultüte, and they come in and they have a wonderful first day where we welcome parents in and get lots of photos taken and an opportunity to transition. And then at the start of the year, we have lots of opportunities for parents as well as students to get to know the school. So we have a back to school night that gives parent information. And we have lots of opportunities where we invite parents in to better understand our systems and structures as well.
Thank you. And throughout, just one more question, Nathaniel. So going into junior school, do we expect to have a certain level of English?
Yeah, no, there isn't an expected level of English in junior school. In junior school, we're really helping students acquire English, and we do have a high percentage of students, whether they are from international background and have limited English, or even if they're within Germany and have less English. We have a lot of expertise in teaching language to all students, and many children, particularly in EC and in grade 1, are actually developing language skills themselves, even if they're native speakers. So there's a huge emphasis on language learning throughout the junior school.
Okay. I just see that there is one more question Nathaniel posted here regarding long distance transportation, especially for small kids. Is this something you can explain, or is it something you would like me to?
I think we do have a bus service available at the school that is able to bring students to school. And that generally starts I'm new to the school too, so Marie and I are new. Exactly. And I think it looks slightly different. Most students, I think, start in grade 1 taking the bus.
Yeah.
And some students in EC or Leigh Kim?
Yeah, so students in EC do take the school bus, but for our EC students, the youngest one, the bus back is only at 3:15 when junior school ends. So only our grade 1s to 4 who are in after school care can take the 4:15 bus home. So the maximum would be 55 minutes. So longer than that, then we don't. But in our experience is that the younger ones chat a lot on the bus and make friends for life sometimes. Okay, thank you, Nathaniel. I would like to go over to Nathalie because transitioning into middle school can look a little bit different. Where you would, I would ask like the same question as well with English, what kind of level of English, but also students coming in from different curriculums.
Okay, so I'll take both those questions and answer them separately.
Yes.
So in terms of English level, we have students who join MIS with all different levels of English, from a complete beginner all the way through to somebody who's a native speaker, and we're able to support them. So in every grade level in middle school, we have an EAL, which is a specialized English language acquisition teacher who supports all students. We identify the current level of English for the student either at the time when they're first being admitted or once they arrive at the school, so that we can provide them with the appropriate support. So for students who really don't have a sufficient level of English, where they can, we know that they can learn in other subjects in English. We have them for their English class, we have them in a standalone English language acquisition class for beginners. And the goal there is to support students by infusing key vocabulary, ability to speak and to write at a basic level, so that then throughout the rest of the day, they're able to continue to learn on their own. The specialized English teachers will support also within the different subject classrooms. They may go, for example, to a science class and support those students in making sure that the science, that they're able to understand what is being taught in science. And at the same time, in their English class, the teachers will also focus on subject-specific vocabulary. One of my students before talked about the mild versus spicy resources. And so a student who has a lower level of English would be given the mild, which has simpler vocabulary. Teachers will also make sure that students have a vocabulary bank, so a list of words that are specific to the learning that they're doing, at that time in that class, so that they don't have to guess what the words mean, but they're actually able to know what those vocabulary words are. And then as students progress in their English, we will have them join the regular English class, but with the support of both a mainstream English teacher and a language acquisition teacher. So it'll be a class that is taught by 2 teachers in a mixed group with proficient speakers and with students who are learning English, so that the teachers are able to support all of the students. And the type of work that they might be asked to do to demonstrate their understanding, for example, of a piece of literature, will be different based on their current level of English. And what we find is that, the first few months can be particularly challenging for our new English learners, but they catch up very quickly. And in the classes, regardless of if your native language is German or if it's Japanese or Korean, we have such a diverse student body that there is usually someone in the class who can support the student by, a quick catch-up or an explanation or helping them. And our students are really helpful in that way. So that was the first part of the question in terms of languages. And remind me what the second part was.
So more to come. We have that question where students come from different curriculum. So from the British, yes, American, or yes, from Asia, or how do we deal with that? Or from gymnasiums?
Yeah. So we are an international baccalaureate school. In the middle school, we offer the middle years program, which really is focused on supporting students through an inquiry learning model. And we really support students on being critical thinkers. That can be a big difference compared to a more traditional model that emphasizes retention of learning, lots of tests, etc. We have different ways of assessing whether our students are learning. So some of the things that we do to support that is by supporting our new parents. We offer throughout the school year for new parents workshops on what the middle years program in the IB looks like. So we'll start off by an overview, and then we'll talk about what assessment looks like. We'll talk about how to interpret a report card. We'll talk about how parents can support their children. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is by making sure that parents do know that we are different and it is intentional, and that we are an IB school. And so we also have a lot of people who are experts in the IB program who can work with parents to understand what that means. And most importantly, in middle school, the biggest question that I get from parents is how can they help their child? The kids are transitioning, they want less help, and yet they still need help. And so what can a parent do when you're not being asked to memorize a lot of things to ensure that the child is continuing to learn? And so that's when we use our technology. So again, one of the students talked about Toddle. So parents have the ability to see what feedback their child is receiving on Toddle, and then to work with the teacher to provide the appropriate interventions as needed.
Yeah. One of the questions we get from families is what can they do to help their child before they start MIS, right? So is there work that we give our students during summer, like summer reading or?
Yeah, so we don't do anything specific. Certainly, I always get asked, can you show us what the math curriculum is going to be so that my child can be ready? What we really tell parents is we want kids to come to school feeling excited about the learning. We want them maybe to have an idea of who are the few people that they might be connected to already. Because in middle school, feeling that you have a friend on day one is the absolute most important thing. Certainly, children will do best academically when they have strong literacy skills. And so taking the opportunity to read in any language, if you're learning a new language such as English, starting to read at an appropriate level, starting to watch movies in English, that might be a good way for students to feel prepared. But what we want is we don't want is for a student to feel like they've spent their whole summer preparing for day one of school. Yeah. Summer is for other activities, connecting with friends and family outside of school, enjoying those activities that you don't have a chance as much to engage in outside of the school year or during the school year, so that when you come to school, you've got stories to tell, you've got experiences that will shape you as a person, and also that you feel excited about hitting the books, so to speak.
Thank you.
Or hitting the iPad.
Thank you very much. Yes, correct. Thank you, Nathalie.
You're welcome.
Just one, so for new families, we also organize Orientation Day, which is the day before the first day of school. So this will help new families prepare for the first day of school. So I kind of have a few questions as well for Marie about transitioning into senior school, which can look very different expectations regarding level of English, or especially students also entering grade 11, the final 2 years. I don't know if you can explain the level of English, but also, for example, how what the experience is, or how you would say the experience from students is coming from Asia, coming from maybe other parts of the world.
Okay, they're great questions, Leigh Kim. I mean, I would start by saying that the spirit of support that Nathaniel and Nathalie talked about, that is also what we're aiming for in senior school. And at the same time, whether your child's joining in grade 9, 10, or 11, we are working very quickly towards some external exams. And so that changes a little bit what that support looks like, and also the level of readiness that helps students to be successful. Because English is our language of instruction, and in grade 9 and 10, we're working towards the MYPE assessments, and in grade 11 and 12 towards the IB diploma, it is important that students have a pretty high degree of proficiency when they join. That said, many of our students in senior school are studying English as a second language, and we have a strong support system that helps them not only in their English B class, but also in dealing with the specific vocabulary in a new language and in a new program as well. And many of those students aren't held back by having English as their second language. In fact, they're able to bring their language background and really make that an asset here, whether that's in grade 11 and 12 or in grade 9 and 10. Leigh, you asked also about joining from different programs, and I would say it's kind of similar to languages. I think every approach to education around the world has its strengths, and while it's easy for a student to come from an MYP school to an MYP school, whether your child is coming from a system in Asia or in the US or anywhere in the world, they're going to find things that they're ahead in and things they need to catch up on, and we're used to that. And our teachers are using assessments, much like in middle school, to be able to support students and meet them where they are. My oldest son joined in grade 9, and I really appreciated the attention that he got from the maths department in identifying what he needed to know to start on day one, and how that aligned with what he had been studying at his previous school. And if you have a child that's joining in grade 11, while our MIS students will be familiar with the campus and maybe familiar with the IB, they're also joining new courses. So all of our grade 11 courses are starting almost, not from scratch, but they're fresh opportunities to learn. And the groups of students will be different as well. And so it can actually be a really good time to join because those are new classes and new expectations for all of our students, whether they've been at MIS for a long time or they're just joining.
Yeah, thank you. I have here a question that says, do you have a minimum level for entering the IB after GCSE? Is there a minimum level required?
No, we don't have a specific grade that we're looking for GCSEs. We would look at the application holistically.
Yeah, okay. Do we have for senior school any summer programs or how to help prepare students entering into senior school?
No, we don't have any specific summer programs. I would say that depending on when your child is joining, there might be different things to focus on. We have many students who will join in grade 11, and that can actually be a summer that is best dedicated to thinking about what you want to do next. So for students here at MIS, we would encourage them to go out, visit universities, maybe explore different areas of interest, because that will help them to make sure that they're in the right classes and really to take advantage of having a summer where they don't have a lot of work to do. There's certainly a lot of homework between grade 11 and grade 12. And then I think at other grade levels, it might actually be kind of similar. So apart from looking at the specific requirements subject by subject, like in mathematics I mentioned earlier, we don't have a specific set of homework or a specific program that we offer for preparation.
Thank you. Is there something that senior school does in specific? Because we kind of tend in senior school, especially at that age, like they said as well, I think Lucas said going into grade 10 as a new student, right? The kids will already form themselves. And he talked about what he did as a student. What are some things that senior school offers our senior school students help that social aspect of going into senior school?
Yeah. So I think the way the timetable is designed really makes it easier for students to find peers that they connect with. So they're not with the same group of students throughout the day. They have a homeroom that they meet every day, but then the rest of their classes are mixed up. That means that they get to meet with many different students that have chosen the same subjects and the same interests. It's great to be in a classroom full of people that like to study the same thing. And it's great that that group changes throughout the day. So I think I found as someone new to the community that there are many opportunities for students to meet different, different groups in activities like Luke said, but also in their day-to-day classes that make it easier. Our counselors also check in with all of our students, especially our new students, and they can be a great support for students as they're trying to settle in as well.
Thank you very much, Marie. So we come to the end of our open day, and we really hope that you found this session informative, and we hope that many of your questions have been answered. If anything remains unclear, then please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We know that choosing the right school for your child is a very, very important decision, and we here at the MIS, the admissions team, are happy to support you through the process and answer any questions. So either by arranging an individual Teams call or through a visit to our campus, please reach out to us, and we wish you a wonderful day, and we look forward to staying in touch. Thank you very much.